Greetings, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I hope this day finds everyone doing awesome. I'm Lady Starfire, and today I want to talk to you about the Akashic Records. If you've heard of the Akashic Records, or even if you haven't, do me a favor and hit that like button down there and subscribe if you hadn't. The Akashic Records is something that has been around forever. A lot of people are jumping on a bandwagon right now of doing these readings and overcharging people and all sorts of things. And today I'm just going to explain to you some things about the Akashic Records for those that don't know, or maybe don't know if they know the truth or not. So I'm going to try to help you with this. I do have notes because I have a lot that I want to cover today, and I want to make sure I don't miss anything, okay? So first of all, the Akashic Records is a place, a space, whatever word you want to use for it, that holds all the records of every soul and every soul's lifetime. Okay? It is sometimes people see it as a giant library in the sky. Others may see it like walking into the inside of some giant computer with hard drives everywhere and, you know, the lights flashing and various things, okay? Some people might see it as a giant cave full of crystals and, you know, each crystal is a different soul. So, I mean, there's no right or wrong way. Anybody that tells you that there is, they're wrong, okay? Just don't listen to them because we all see things differently. You know, it's kind of like in meditation, we have our sacred space, you know, and what that looks like is different for each person, okay? So it's just really important that for those of you that are seeking information about the Akashic Records, don't let anybody tell you that you have to see it a certain way, okay? Because it's just not, you know, that's not the truth, okay? Whatever feels right to you, and when you, if you decide to go there yourself, okay, which we're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm not going to teach you exactly how to do it today. If you want more information, leave me some comments and tell me, and I will do a video strictly on the meditation, or, you know, to try to help you get there. That's one way of doing it. For most people, that's usually a little bit easier way. But, you know, once again, there's a lot of different ways to do it, okay? So we're going to get started. All right, so as I said, some people see it as a giant library in the sky. And if that's how you happen to see it when you go, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look for your book or books, okay? As a general rule, you use the name that you go by now. Not necessarily your birth name. It's the name of who you are now. Some people like to use a nickname or some other name. If that's what you're called all the time, then that may be, you know, okay too. But as a general rule, the safest way to make sure that you find your books, because other people could have the same nickname, you know? So you want to make sure that you go by your name. And you can even, if you're a woman, you can include your maiden name with your now married name. It doesn't matter. As long as you have that connection to your name when you go in. Then you can go and find your book. Now, some people, when they are trying to do a meditation, an astral travel, any of these different ways of getting there, they see themselves getting in an elevator. Okay, so we are on the 3rd floor. Okay, this is where we reside dimension-wise. Okay, and where you're going to want to go is to the 5th floor. All right, so that's that 5th dimension, which is where the Akashic Records are stored. Okay. There are what we call librarians, assistant librarians. You know, if you're going to a library, it could be called anything else, the keepers. But what's there is things like angels, archangels, ascended masters, you know, other high beings, okay, that as a general rule are not human or haven't been human, okay? So they're very energetic, energized type, you know, beings. some people may see them, some may not. There are, some different ways. There's one person I'll get into who she is a little bit later. She says when you do it her way, you don't see any of them. Other people that go say that they do see, different ones. So, once again, it can be different from everybody. There's no right or wrong. There's no, this is the only way it is. Okay. It's just not the way it happens. All right. But if you're going in, we're going to just use library for right now because it's the easiest. You want to go and find your book. And understand your books are constantly changing because it changes with every thought that you have. Every single thought you have is recorded. It doesn't have to be said. If it is said, that's recorded that way too. Everything you do, it goes back to my saying, you're responsible for everything you think, say, and do. Okay? Every bit of it is recorded. Do understand that the masters that are there, the guides, they don't judge you. Their job is not to judge you when you go. Their job is to answer your questions, to aid you in gaining the information that you're looking for, to help you, help guide you in there to find the information. You can find out about your past lives, all sorts of things. It's just really awesome. Okay. Because we all are looking for that information, and this is the best way to find the truthful information. Because like I said, everything about you is there. All right. So why do people want to open the Akashic records? For some people, it can be very overwhelming and not always a good thing for you. Okay. It depends on you and how well you handle the truth. If you're someone who does not handle the absolute truth well, don't go. Just don't even think about going to the Akashic records. Okay. Because that's what you're going to get, is the absolute truth. If you were a jerk in a past life, it's going to say you were a jerk in a past life. If you were whatever, okay, those records are all there. And if you're not ready to deal with it, leave it alone. Okay, just leave it, walk away. Okay, but you can open the records for healing. Okay, you can go there to figure out how to heal yourself. You can find out about, what you need to do to make your business better, how to make positive changes in your life, get empowerment. Okay. Everyone's records are different, and everyone's records have in it everything about you and exactly what you need. Okay. They will answer your questions. Understand that they don't always answer them the way that I talk to you. Okay. It can be worded in many different ways. So don't go up there asking, okay, so exactly what do I need to do to make my business better? They're not going to say, okay, well, you need to place this ad here, and you need to do this, and you need to buy this and that. That's not how you're going to get that information. Okay. They don't do things that way. They don't see things the way that we do. They don't speak the language exactly the way we do. Now, there are some people that the guides are, used enough to them and know how they do things. And so maybe they joke a little or something. But as a general rule, sometimes it may be like a riddle or something that, maybe you got to figure out. It just really depends on the information that you're asking. Okay. A lot of times it takes practice. Don't expect the first time that you try to go that it just happens and you just get all this information. Okay. If you do, feel lucky. Most people have to try and try and try. It's just like meditation. Okay. Not everybody is able to meditate their first time trying. I know I didn't. It took me forever to find just the right way for me to be able to meditate and actually get into that state. And from there is how I learned astral travel. So you have to be patient, okay? You can't just go, well, it didn't work for me, so I'm going to give up. You know, it just, be prepared that it's going to take work. It's going to take practice. It's going to take trying and trying and trying again, okay? If you're not willing to do that, just don't even start, okay? Just don't even try it until you're ready and understand that it's going to take time, okay? You know, you can take things as slow as you want. You can take it as fast as you want. You're better off to take things slow. Don't try to get all the information in one time. You're not going to, okay? You really want to limit yourself to like maximum of 5 questions when you go. And you may just want to go and sit and enjoy the peacefulness of the energy there, okay? And not let yourself get so overwhelmed. Know what it is that you're wanting to know before you go. Write down your questions, okay? Because even while you're in a meditative state, you can look at your questions. You can look over here and write down things that you hear, sense, feel, whatever, okay? And you can open your eyes and write it down. Some people do it like automatic writing, whatever. Just flow with it, okay? Don't have expectations. You know, just go and go, I'm going to find out what I find out today, okay? It's just so much easier for you. You have to look for signs that the door is open, and accept whatever sign it is. Now, you also have to remove ego from it, okay? You can't just go, okay, well, it looks like this and da-da-da-da-da, okay? And just make it something that it's not. And I was told this and I was told that. It's kind of like people that use a Ouija board and, you know, they move the pochette to say what they want to. You're not going to get truthful information that way. All you're going to get is what you think you need to do. Well, I know he's right for me. No, he's not. Okay. So whatever it is, you know, you have to clear out all of your own thoughts about the subject that you're trying to find out about. Be open to whatever information that you receive. Okay. As I said, you know, answers are not always simple and detailed, you know, like what we want. You have to sometimes decipher them. It just really kind of depends, all right? You know, and they may just answer your question. It depends on the question you're asking. You know, it may be something that's simple enough that they can just simply answer it. So, you know, it's not always, you know, abstract or, you know, whatever. Sometimes it can be just because whatever, okay? They won't give you more information than you are ready to handle, okay? So, but once again, the truth is still there. So sometimes if you go and you're just really not seeming to get any answers, it's because you're not truly ready to hear it, okay? No, he's not your soulmate. You know, that's not where you're supposed to be, or, you know, you need to do X, Y, Z, and you don't want to do X, Y, Z, okay? So if you're not ready to hear it, then sometimes they just won't tell you at all, okay? Don't ever ask yes or no questions, okay? You can ask anything you want, but not yes or no. You know, we use pendulums and stuff like that for yes and no questions. There's no reason to go up there to ask, you know, should I do this or should I do that? You know, that's just silly. There's other ways of connecting to your spirit guides and stuff like that to get those answers. You want to ask questions that are like who, what, when, where, you know, those questions, okay? Something that it requires more of a detail and an answer, all right? After the first time you go and you actually get there, don't just keep going back and back and back right off. You know, take some time to decipher the information that you got, the feelings that you received, everything. Okay. You know, it's best, you know, to take up to 72 hours before you go back again, because you need to make sure how you feel. You know, what emotion did this response that you got give you? Okay. And don't keep going back asking the same question over and over and over, trying to get the answer that you want. Because what's going to happen is when you get the answer that you want, it's not coming from them, it's coming from you. Okay. It's kind of like the person that I knew that I watched her shuffle and lay out the tarot cards. It was at least 10 times, and I'm not exaggerating. It was at least 10 times, and she would get mad because it wasn't saying what she wanted. Put them together, shuffle them, and lay them out again. And on about that 10th time, yep, there it is. That's. I knew that was what it was. Yeah, that wasn't really the true answer. It was just simply, fine, here, what you want to see, and this way you'll stop doing this. Okay, so don't do that. Once again, have you a pad and pen handy. You may be in there and you're seeing stuff, so you don't want to open your eyes. So just, let yourself do automatic writing, or write it the best you can. Hopefully you could read it when you come out. Because massive wisdom comes from the Akashic records. Okay. Once again, it is a great place to get knowledge for those that are truly seeking. It can be very overwhelming for people that try to get too much information. Everyone has different guides there to help them. Okay. It's kind of like in my video on your spirit guides. If you haven't watched it, go check out, that video. There are certain guides that will be there to tell you certain things, or that help you with certain aspects. And then they may be done. And they're like, okay, it's like, leaving first grade, and now this teacher's no longer your teacher. Now someone else comes in for the next stage, okay? Or the next life that you're, checking into. But everyone's guides are different, okay? We don't all have the same ones. There may be some that, help different ones, just like with spirit guides, but they can be different. As I was saying before about our language, as a human, is different, okay? They communicate through energy. They may show you pictures, okay? Music, different sounds, colors, but everything you see or hear when you're there is relevant, okay, to your experience and what you're trying to find out. You may be trying to find out about a certain situation, and they might show you a memory, okay? And you go, why am I remembering this? What's that got to do with what I was asking? Well, think about that memory and decipher it, okay? Because that memory would not have been shown to you at that time if it was not relevant to either what you were asking or information that they need you to pay attention to, okay? Once you learn how to open the records, okay, you will develop your own way to get there. Right? You may try, this way and it works. You may try this way and it works. This way over here it didn't work. And then you may combine different things because it works better for you, or you just come up with your own way that works. Okay. But you need to try something that is kind of tried and true, or something that helps you to do this first. And then once you get there, you can kind of set up something that allows you to maybe more easily open the doors. Okay. It's a great place to release blocks. Get rid of ideas that are limiting you. All right. You can build relationships with the different guides that are there while you're there. You can also, while you're there, you can use things like pendulums and cards and crystals and all these sorts of things to help you to connect or ask questions or get answers to questions. You know, you can incorporate, you know, a lot of different things as you learn more about what you're doing and how to get there to begin with. Okay. If you already have psychic abilities, going to the Akashic Records will amp them up like crazy. Okay. Because in there, the energy is so strong that it just accelerates everything. You know, the way you hear things, the way you see things, the way you feel things, you know, everything about your psychic abilities will just go, okay? So be ready for this, because some people aren't, okay? If you don't want your third eye just to like blast open more than what it already is, or if you're an empath and you don't want that to accelerate, I don't advise going to the Akashic Records, okay? Because it's going to amp up all of it, okay? Understand that, you know, you may not feel things right away, and that's okay, all right? You know, sit in your space, and then, you know, if you're just not feeling anything, if you're, you know, in meditation, bring yourself out. If you're having trouble getting in meditation and getting there, just enjoy some downtime. And then when you're ready, open your eyes. Okay. Edgar Cayce was one of the first that we know of as far as writing things down about it that did things with the Akashic Records. He did it through hypnosis. Okay. We have Linda Howe uses what she developed and calls pathway prayer process. Okay. She uses the heart chakra to access the records. She says that you won't see the guides when you use her process. Okay. You know, she uses an opening prayer and a closing prayer to do hers. And you can go look her up. She teaches, you know, or she has a class to help you with this. I mean, there is a cost. Her opening and closing prayer, she has available on a PDF. I will try to remember to put a link down in my comments in case you're interested. You know, there are other people that use meditation. They use astral travel. There's all sorts of ways of doing this. The most important thing is whichever method you do, when you open the doors, you ask to open the doors, and you open those doors, you acknowledge that the doors to the Akashic Records are now open. You also make sure that when you're done, you close them, okay? If you come out of meditation and you are just still feeling so energized, you can't ground, and you just kind of feel like there's this open computer running in your head or something, that means you didn't close the door, and that's not good and it's not safe. You must close the door. You know, make sure that you give thanks and a lot of other things, and I'll go into this more. You know, if y'all want me to do another video on this with a meditation or something, you know, to try to help you to get to the Akashic Records. All right. Y'all gonna have to let me know now if you want me to do this or not. All right. Because I'm not gonna do it just if nobody's interested. All right. So that's just the way that is. I don't like doing videos that nobody wants to watch because it's not something you're interested in. So if it is, you've got to leave me comments, contact me, something, and let me know, yes, please do that video, okay? And then I will. The energy is just very high. It can be very overwhelming, okay? So you need to make sure that you ease yourself in. Make sure that you're in the right state of mind, okay, for doing it. You don't need to be anxious, angry, you know, whatever, you know, you don't need to be in any of these off states of mind trying to go in, okay? Just need to ease into that, all right? You know, you want to start off by going in for a short period of time. You know, give yourself 5 to 15 minutes, no more than 15 minutes, okay? Come back out, close the door, write everything down, and, you know, make sure how you're feeling and how you feel about the information that you got and the energy of being in there, okay? Later, you can build up. I mean, there's people that go and they're in there for an hour or more, all right? But you need to make sure that you're ready for that. So don't try to do that right off, okay? That will be an energy overload for 99.9% of the people, okay? And yes, that probably means you. So, you know, it's a build up slowly to do this, all right? Be careful. Be careful. There are many people out there. You find them on Facebook, you find them on YouTube, you probably find them on TikTok and any other social media that's out there that say that, you know, they can read your Akashic records. Is this possible? Yes, it is. Are there some legit good people out there that do this? Yes, there is. Are there fakes out there and people that just want to overcharge you, just like they overcharge for readings and say you stepped off to some hex or curse or whatever? Yes, there is. You have to give someone permission to access your records, okay? So you need to make sure that you know this person and that you trust this person before allowing them and giving them permission to access your records. Now, as a general rule, the rule is, you know, the only information that's given is based on the questions that are asked. I'm just not a real trusting person when it comes to stuff like that. You know, there's so many fakes out there and people that take advantage of people that it makes me very uncomfortable, okay, personally, to give someone that I don't know, even some people I do know, because, you know, I don't know what they might try to get in there and see, and it may not be what I'm wanting them to access. And so, you know, there might be things in my life that I don't want them, you know, to see, because not everyone is scrupulous. Not everyone treats readings of any kind like I do. I treat it as I'm clergy, and what goes on in a reading is none of anybody's business, and it's not for me to tell, okay? So, you know, what if they get in there and see something and they decide to go tell all your friends, all right? Their friends, who might be your friends too. So, you know, that's very unethical. They would probably get cut off from being able to get in, I would hope. But, you know, once again, make sure that you know and trust the person. If they're trying to charge some astronomical, you know, fee for it, you know, I say no. I'm not paying somebody some outrageous fee to do something, number one, that I know I can do myself, okay? Because you can. Anyone can do it. You have to learn, okay? And I'm not saying that it's not okay ever for someone else, especially if you, it's kind of like reading your own cards, you know, sometimes you might try to turn it to the way that you want it instead of what information is truly coming out. So for that reason, yeah, it might be good if there's somebody that can do it. Just, you know, don't be paying somebody a crap load of money, especially somebody that you don't know and that you don't know truthfully knows how to do this and is going to give you the true answers. Okay? That's, you know, my disclaimer, my warning on that. Okay? And don't be out there trying to get somebody else's information. Okay? Once you learn to get in there, don't try to get somebody else's information. You can't. They will not give it to you if you don't have the person's permission. All right? That's the rules of that. Okay? It's just the way that it is. Be sure that you close the Akashic Records door when you get done. Okay? I can't say that one enough. It's really important. Note here, some people are able to access on their first attempt. Okay? While others, you may try for days, weeks, months before you actually get in there. Okay? A lot of it can depend on how much monkey mind you got. That just, you know, it just happens. So once again, don't make it a stressful thing. I have to access these records. If you make it stressful like that, it ain't gonna happen. Okay? It's just not. You know, so you're wasting your time and your energy. All right? Make it more like a playful thing, okay? Free of any expectations, all right? That's, usually the best approach, okay? I'm fixing to meditate, and I think I'm going to try to access the Akashic records, so I can see my records while I'm in meditation, okay? Just lighthearted. Have some ideas of what you would want to ask if you get there, okay? No big deal. If you get there, fine. If you don't, who knows? You might get the answers while you're just in meditation, okay? So just keep, repeating your process. Try something a little bit different, maybe. Just don't have hard, fast expectations. Relax and just let it flow, okay? Your guides are always with you, and, a lot of them will probably even help you. I said there are many methods, there's many different things in books, videos, there's different ways that people do it. Feel free to go check some of them out too, all right? I said, if y'all want me to, I will be happy to do a guided meditation to try to help you to reach the records. May take me just a little bit to get that one put together. So once again, comment down there and let me know. And like the video. Like this video if you want me to do the other one. I said, today's video was mostly about teaching you about what the Akashic records are, what it's not, the good, the bad, and what can be ugly out there. Okay. And once again, there's so many different ways of doing this. And it's okay. All right. I know people that have been kind of yanked into it. And it's very overwhelming to them. And, some people were shown too much information because of how they were yanked into it. It was not something that they were trying to do. So be careful of stuff like that. Find somebody to talk to if that ever happens to you. Okay. Somebody you trust that knows and understands. Okay. You can contact me if you need to, because I know people it's happened to. Okay. And it can drive you a little bit on the crazy side, believe me. So, just be careful of all the things that you're jumping out there, wanting to jump into, wanting to jump in and do, and all that kind of stuff. Not everything is what it needs to be for you. Okay. So, hope this gives you some good information, teaches you a bit about the Akashic records and what it is and what it isn't. And once again, if you're interested, let me know, and I will be happy to put together a video for, a meditation or something, maybe. Most likely a type of meditation that I'll put together just for this to, try to help you. Okay. So, if you haven't already, please hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you hadn't. If you have, thank you. I appreciate you so very much. And thank you for watching my videos all the way through. It helps me, okay? That like helps me. YouTube pays attention to all this stuff, whether people see my stuff. And don't forget to share it. Somebody might be interested in this, even if you're not, okay? So please share my videos. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think and what you want me to do. And if there's other videos that you're wanting me to do, there's information that I haven't put out there yet that you want, leave me a comment, okay? Sometimes I'll run out of ideas, and I need to know what you want, because that's what's important, is what you want, okay? So, once again, thank you, all of my beautiful people. I love you. Giving you great big hugs from here. And until the next video, have a wonderful and blessed day. Blessed be.